Yep, I ran out of wire when I was welding up my Suburban a couple weeks ago, so I've had this welder for over 20 years. It's a good welder. And I went to buy a new roll of wire, and I looked at the two sizes, 0.025, 0.6 millimeter, and 0.030, and I said, I need 0.030. Whoops, macro time. So I bought the 030, 0.8 millimeter, and I went to change the roll way after closing time, and I realized, oops, I got the wrong roll. But maybe it's not so bad, because you can't weld sheet metal anyways with this welder. It's got too much juice, so maybe it's better to have the 0.005 thicker wire, and I can weld heavier stuff, I guess. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to build a bracket to hold up this water main backflow preventer with some old bed frame. Yep, bed frame. That piece there screwed into the wall, which has got cement block behind it, so I use Tapcons, and I'll make a triangle, and tomorrow Fruit Loops will be back to finish his floor. Oh, lying on the ground. Greenish gray, speckled gray. We didn't have enough of the speckled gray, so we made a racetrack down the middle of these greenish gray ones. And like usual, Fruit Loops is doing a beautiful job. So back to my welder. I've got some grinding and welding to do, and some drilling and attaching and leveling, and that's today's job. This is pretty cool. Magnetic level. Check my bracket for my backflow preventer and water main that I fixed. Boy, when was that? I guess during the summer. Close to 6 months ago. So I've got one Tapcon bolt through the strapping that's behind the sheetrock into the cement block wall that surrounds the staircase, which is on the other side of this wall. I'll drill a few more holes, cut that off, drill for a U-bolt muffler clamp, and I'll triangulate it for strength. Whoops, there goes my dollar store level. Didn't break, not this time. And I got my welder, and that wire's working fine. And my Tapcon screws. Antique. Well, let's shorten that up. Oops, nice, clean, square cut. Now, I can take this piece and weld it on like that, trimming the corners to make it look like a factory bed frame installation. Must take a pretty big machine to stamp out those keyholes for the bed parts. That ought to do it. Got some welding wire here holding it kind of sort of level, plumb, kind of sort of. I'll just cut these nubbies off, the rivets that I ground off whenever I scrapped this bed frame, and trim the corners, make it look pretty. Or maybe this piece is too short. What do you think? Use the piece with the slots. Of course, by the time you watch this video, it'll be long welded and cooled off. Right there. overkill. I can't put my bolts in. So, here we go. There's your answer right there. Perfect. Hold that. Cut that little piece off. And there we go. Custom made. Imagine building a car from scratch. This is a freaking 3 pieces of bed frame. Alright. Time to weld. Well, you didn't see me welding, but you've watched enough of that as best you can with an eye production. Whoa, twist your wrist off. One more gold screw. Why is it everything gets in the way? Something about... There. Arr. There. Good clunk. Good tight. Of course it misses the water main now. But it slides, I can lift it up. How do you like that? Sucked it down. Instead of sucking it up, now I gotta lift the whole thing. Usually I set things a bit higher or adjust stuff so it has more height or whatever it takes to counteract certain forces, but oh boy. Yep, air gap. Alright, I'll figure something out.